the work of artist Fatimah Tuggar invites close looking, because all is not as it initially appears. As you'll find at the Davis Museum, her pictures tell more than words. They speak volumes. Don't for a second think this exhibition at the Davis Museum is simply a photography show. These works invite you into a living room where you think you get the picture, until you break left. What is she doing here? What is happening in this piece titled Lady and the Maid? And who exactly is the maid?
The part of being an artist, right, is the opportunity for me to do what maybe isn't possible here in the world or on the planet.
Artist Fatimah Tuggar has been serving up sliced-up scenes since graduating from Yale University more than 20 years ago. She calls the collages she makes an alternative imaginary.
Some people will get just the surface read, which is sort of the drawing, and then uncovering the rest is sort of part of the engagement and exploration. It's a little bit like a poem, really.
Tuggar was born in Nigeria, was educated in England, and now lives in Missouri. The show is called Home's Horizons. It's fair to say her notion of home is different than most.
If you live in one place for your entire life, for example, and the same home, I think there are other viewpoints and perspectives that you may not be engaging or understanding. So I think that that's sort of part of the reason why I'm engaging that notion.
Tuggar is an observer. Each of her works begins with a photograph she takes, not on the fly, but of situations she's absorbed. Like the scene at the heart of her piece, Sibling Rivalry. Here she found two sisters tasked by their mother to peel peanuts.
The older girl wanted to do it by herself, and then the younger girl decided that she wanted to be involved, and then it became a circumstance where every time the little girl picked up the peanut, the older girl knocks it out of her hand. So I started sort of thinking about the shift in power.
So Tuggar inserted images she found of a richly developed city at their feet and Wall Street looming over them.
It's not like necessarily you don't have to take over physical land or geographical location, you know. We have Wall Street, there's a lot of power online.
Tuggar says one of her chief artistic influences is the late 19th, early 20th century artist Marcel Duchamp, who famously used existing materials. Notoriously so in 1917, when he unveiled this urinal as a piece titled Fountain.
That changed everything for me. It became less about making and more about thinking and ideas.
She was one of many artists in the 1990s grappling with these rapid changes, including the internet.
Amanda Gilvin is the show's curator and says technology has always been paramount in Tuggar's art.
In Fatimah's work, I saw someone else investigating the materials and themes around technology, which she always is very clear about includes everything from the handmade to the newest kinds of digital technologies like augmented reality.
Which is Tuggar's most recent work, created specifically for this show. Deep Blue Wells is an augmented reality experience, inviting us into the indigo dye wells of Nigeria.
The fabrics all have different markers, and the markers generate imagery.
Tuggar has embedded the piece with her own documentary work on everything from the goats that live around the wells to their long histories.
Let's try and see if we can get it started.
This is the story of Dorama,
a young female ruler who came to be the founding matriarch of the Hausa Kingdom.
From her use of technology to her dissections of society and home, Tuggar is an artist very much dwelling on the horizon.
I'm not making art for the art world. I'm interested in making work that anybody can walk off the street, come here, and they'll be able to engage the work.